Well, pretty much though, that's like Adolf Hitler what he did too. Oh, that's another misconception about Adolf Hitler. He just didn't target Jews. He just did it. He targeted anybody that wasn't blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, but
he mostly targeted Jews though.
Well, because they were the most if you think about the percentage at the time though, and the area that they're in, they're easier to get though at the target. Because one, there's a lot more of them over there.
But no, Jews. He hated Jews more than anyone though. It's not
he
just
hated Jews mostly anyone, but he targeted also Indians, blacks, anybody that had a mental.
We're not saying he targeted just Jews, but he targeted primarily Jews.
Yeah.
Anyone didn't agree with his beliefs. Yo, Cody, what's up, man?
Oh, and you know what is crazy to think though? He almost won the war.
Wait, you wanna hear a voice question?
Really. A bunch of people were always like, if they employed this, well, he lost the war mostly primarily because of a lack of oil, which is
not even that.
During
the final months, if he would have kept on to Russia, if he did not invade Russia, he would have won the war.
People always say that if he just done blank or just employed blank, he would have won. But he lost mostly because of a lack of manpower and a lack of oil. They were pretty much inevitably going to lose.
Yeah. Hey, he right though. He right.
No, here's the thing though. Yes, he had lack of oil, but it mostly lack of the oil came from whenever he invaded Russia's and betrayed on Russia. If he never betrayed it on Russia,
if he never betrayed Russia, they would have won for sure.
If he never betrayed Russia, he would have won because he would have had more amount of troops, more oil, and more reinforcements.
Russia wasn't coming, but think about it from Nazi Germany's perspective, though. Russia was pushing harder and harder and harder on them, crushing them harder and harder and harder, to the point where they snapped, and it turned into warfare.
And also, too, man, you know what is crazy to think, though? Adolf Hitler was not a stupid man. It's scary to think that he's actually very intelligent.
He didn't have a responsibility. Reason why. Germany.
Yo, his intentions at first were good. Just he had too much power and too little time that fucking corrupted
about the whole World War II? If you really do think about it, though, on our side, because we're in America and we've been told the war from how it is, our perspective is he's really bad, which he kind of is because he's targeted. Here's the thing, though. On his perspective, if you were in Germany at the time, he's raising the country out of debt. He brought jobs to the people. He rose the economy for steady years.
Yeah.
In their point of view, he's good. In our point of view, because we're the invading country, he's forcing his debt. Because if you really...
6 million Jews, but okay.
He did a lot good,
like, dude,
but people covered over the bad. It's like... It was like O.J. Simpson, like, no offense, I'm not saying this.
Yeah.
But like,
and I think
O.J. Simpson, he does a lot of good. Like, he does charity, he does, all this stuff for kids. But the moment that he murdered his wife, that's all he's known for.
Can I tell you something?
It's the same with Adolf.
Let me tell you this. If you save a burning building full of 100 people, but then you go out and kill one person, you're still a murderer. It doesn't matter. If you go out and you raise
if you technically want to talk about murder, then
if you get a cure for cancer, and then you go out and kill 10 people, you are a murderer, and you are a horrible person.
You know what is a horrible person?
Each time, whenever you murder somebody, it doesn't matter what you did in the past. You're a horrible person.
Yeah. I got a question. Do you trust paramedics?
With O.J. Simpson, he killed his wife. He straight murdered his wife.
I understand the murder, but listen. Do you trust paramedics?
Absolutely.
You know it takes a life to... He actually physically, technically classified of murder. somebody before.
Yeah,
for trying to save their life.
Okay, so what did he do?
He, on a call on, it was a drug overdose. He was doing his standard procedures, you know, of course.
Yeah.
He gave morphine and killed. That's technically murder. You injected somebody of a drug and killed them.
That is manslaughter, not murder.
Yeah, that's manslaughter.
Manslaughter, not murder.
Okay, whoever's just coming in and out of the conversation, just backing whoever up, can you stop? It's getting annoying at this point.
Well, okay, but like, I have a good point. That's manslaughter. That's not murder. I'm talking about murder here. Hitler killed 6 million Jews. It doesn't matter what you do in the past. It doesn't matter if he brought Germany out of economy. That's cool. Good for him.
That's not the point he's trying to get at. He's not trying to get to the, he's not, no, dude, no, it's just you're not, dude, you're not getting, he's not trying to tell you that Hitler was a good guy. What he's trying to say is before, no, what he's trying to say is, what I think he's trying to say is that before he did that shit, he was a good guy.
It wasn't even before, it was also during.
I agreed with that. He was a great person. He raised the economy, people looked up to him. I probably would have if I lived in Germany in the 1930s. But the thing is, he turned, like, nowadays he's not a good person, but back then he was. And I agree with that.
It wouldn't even be if he's a good or bad.
I'm not saying... was a good person back then. O.J. Simpson was a great person.
No, you're saying back then. Can I say something? I don't care if he was good person back then, good heart, good-minded back then or now. Here's what I'm trying to get as a point, though. Even during the murders and during all that stuff, he still had, I mean, he's human. Of course, he's going to have his ups and downs.
Yeah, true.
But here's what I'm trying to say, though. You can't just also target him and immediately be like, oh, you're immediately a bad person. You murdered 6,000 Jews with your intent. That's very terrible. That is 100% terrible. But you still have to give the man credit for rising him out of sweat. For God's sake, if he was left in the issues of the thing,
you can give them credit for that, absolutely, absolutely.
Did you know if World War II and World War I never would have happened?
You can't say nowadays he's a good person because he killed 6 million Jews. I think you're missing that. Back then he was a great person.
Also too.
Nowadays he's not. And you can't commend Hitler. You can't say, oh yeah, Hitler's a great guy.
No.
He killed 6 million Jews,
no,
dude.
He's a terrible person. But also, too, though, with the intent of 6 million Jews, though, if you would have thought about it, in 1943, he had dementia, which technically means he wasn't... No, listen. And they took him out of command. He's also not to blame, too. I mean, he's to blame for the first half of World War II. He's to blame for
killing 6 million Jews, yeah.
Because he's the head-in-chief. That's how it goes, just like war crimes. You're targeting the lead chief because you commanded them. But also, you got to blame all the SS, all that. You can't just be immediately Adolf Hitler.
No one's saying that we're not going to blame the SS. No one said that.
Yeah.
It's also crazy.
It wasn't just Hitler, but even if Hitler had killed just 3 million Jews, that doesn't make him just half as bad. He's still a horrible person.
No, you're
a horrible person.
No, and you see me, that I'm supporting both sides of the argument. You don't see me siding with one person. No, I'm going back and forth, because I'm actually saying...
This is what I think. Hitler, yes, you can commend him for raising the economy, for making art. The people of Germany loved him.
But can I say something, though?
After 1940... No, let me finish my statement. Let me finish my statement, please. So... He raised Germany out of its debt. People loved him. He made great art, music. He loved so many people. He loved his country. Even during World War II, he loved his country. Praise him for the things that he did in the past. Because he killed 6 million Jews and he didn't start World War II, but he killed 6 million people.
I mean, he technically did start World War II.
You know what is funny?
Japan,
no, if you don't mind, no. You know who actually started World War II?
He killed 6 million
Can I say something? Okay, starting of World War II depends on European or Western front, but I'm staying on the Eastern front with this. And because yes, he's I'm agreeing with you. The thing is that in his attempt though, he blamed the Jews for the downfall. Because one, there's too many migration problems. Yes, he could have handled that situation so many more ways instead of mass murder.
Yeah.
But in his eyes, in his defense though, all he's doing is the nation's good. In our lives, because one, we're a democracy, we don't see it like that, and we don't know what their country's going through.
We're not a democracy if you...
Well, here's the thing.
But here's the thing though. Without World War II and that happening, did you know Germany would have been the poorest country if it wasn't for World War II?
Okay, well, it's not worth 6 million people's lives.
And you're missing...
But it's so much worth more than the whole future.
Can I say this? I agree with a lot of what you're saying. He could have handled that so many other ways. And...
No, if you don't mind me asking.
He did think what he was doing was right. But that doesn't defy the fact that it killed 6 million people. It doesn't. I don't care if you're an insane...
listen.
Let me speak. I do not care if you are an insane, sociopathic, psychotic person. I don't care if you're the most person in the world. Somebody. You are a horrible person.
Okay, I got a question. If you had a choice to kill 6 million people just to save your country's future, or would you rather choose not to kill 6 million people and let your country burn? Which one would you do?
I wouldn't kill 6 million people. No, you can't.
What son? So you're saying this?
Hitler right now.
You're not saying.
You can't seriously be defending Hitler right now.
I'm not defending. I'm just saying. Listen, you can say that all this life. Think of all of America's future in all this. So you're telling me that 6 million lives isn't the worth of probably like times 2,000 of that? Maybe even more for the future?
Hold on one second.
I don't think he gets the point that I'm trying to make.
Okay, so what did you say before that?
Okay, so you're telling me you wouldn't spare 6,000 lives just to save probably times 200 of that?
Those people weren't dying in starvation. They were poor. But 6 million of them wouldn't have died. It doesn't matter.
That's not the point that he's trying. No. That's not the point that he's trying to make at this point. I think the point that he's trying to make is listen. If you were in that position, right? Would you let the United States... I'm switching kind of like the main point of it, though. Would you let the United States fall and burn? Second Great Depression. So, 327 million people living in poverty, possibly dying, or securing 6 million people dying. I'm not defending Hitler. I'm just saying, like, what would you do in that situation if that's the only thing?
This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you guys are, like, commending Hitler. I'm not gonna lie. Hitler was in a tight-ass spot. But
no, I'm just saying, though.
Let me speak. No, let me speak. I get the point that you're saying. No, you can't keep interrupting me, dude. I'm with you if you're gonna keep interrupting me.
But here's the thing.
Anyways, this dude, I get your point. He was in a rock and a hard place. He had nothing. He had no choice. He had nowhere to go. But that doesn't make him a morally correct person, and you can't commend him for that. You can feel bad for him all you want, but you can't commend him for that.
No one's commending him for the things he did. We all think it's a terrible thing he did, but what we're trying to say is kind of like think about it in his point of view, like that. You know what I'm trying to say? No, yeah,
He's
I know.
in a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, I'm not. You know.
But the other problem with Hitler, though, is that he sincerely hated Jews with a passion.
You never know what he knew.
He didn't have to kill 6 million people. He could have started a war to get out of recession. Because that would create jobs, people building planes, sort of thing. That's what America did to get out of World War II started. plenty of jobs came up because people were building. Just apply the war.
He saved the...
He didn't have to kill 6 million people.
Okay, let's say this. Let's say you're on a boat, okay?
Okay.
There's 100 people on it. Your boat is sinking because of too much weight. Would you rather... Would you kill 20 people just to save the rest of the people? Or would you let the boat sink because there's too many people?
Well, the reason why Germany was failing wasn't because there were... But the reason why Germany was failing wasn't because there were too many Jews. That's an invalid point. That's an invalid point.
It's an invalid point, though. But if you really think about it, though, yes, he couldn't have targeted
but he didn't have to kill the 6 million Jews. He could have just started...
The 6 million... Time, can I say something else? The 6 million Jews, you're thinking of the end total. You gotta think from the beginning in the mid.
No.
You're thinking of, like, the end total. Yes, that's 6,000 Jews at the end of the whole war that he murdered. I mean, 6 million, not
million, actually.
Yes, yeah. 6 million. Killed at the end of the whole entire world. War.
Yes.
At the start, maybe about, I don't know, 20% of that. Yeah, he did that, but he would rather do the wrong to get to the right, is what I'm trying to say.
Which you're still doing wrong, but okay.
You're still doing morally wrong, but he's setting up his nation's great for the greater. Because sometimes you gotta do a little wrong to get a little right.
Wait, guys, I haven't been talking. I've been letting you guys talk. Now, excluding the point of Hitler, think how much technology advanced during World War II, especially the German side. They created the first jet, the first actual fighter jet, the Messerschmitt 262. They created the first really... Alright, you ready? Right. The first really good, reliable, full auto weapon, the STG-40, like the first reliable assault rifle. They created... They created the first ICBM.
They also created the first form of mobile internet.
They made the V2 rocket, the first ICBM.
So you're saying that technology advanced because they made a bunch of weapons of war?
Here's the thing.
No, I'm saying war advances technology.
They did that too. Can I say something? They did that in many of things that we use right now. We're using it right now.
We're using what?
Okay, they actually created the first mobile, technically, what we now know as a hotspot for telephones. For mobile portable to go, instead of having all the attachments to what. They invented that. Without this technology advance, without 6 million lives to spare, he brought the whole world something new that without this war, or without him doing this, we would never have.
Is that worth the lives of 6 million people?
In my opinion, it's not really, but for the sake of God's sake, without technology advance, society would never live.
They would live, it's just we would live in a different world.
If we were living,
we just would have lived in a different world.
But also in a swamp too, though. If we kept living on a strict diet,
you can make a bunch of advancements in technology. You can bring your economy out of a total recession. You can make your country.
But it would never happen without a time of need.
You can make your country adore you. But the second you literally decide to commit mass genocide, that's what he was doing. Genocide. He was going after not just the Jews in Germany, but the Jews everywhere. Once you literally decide to commit genocide, you become cursed. And you cannot be commodited. Damn. You cannot be for any of the inventions that you made. There is a reason, a very strict reason, why you do not people going out and saying, "Oh, thank Hitler for the creation of the telephone."
It wasn't Hitler. We're not thanking Hitler. We're thanking the German scientists. That a lot of them didn't even agree with Hitler. A lot of them, they just keep.
Einstein didn't.
Talking about these were great people. A lot of people didn't like Hitler, but still, my point still stands.
I'm helping both sides out.
I agree with you on that one. I agree with you on that one.
It's kind of hard to. Yeah, I know. It's kind of hard to explain to me. It's like.
Let's switch topics here, because this is just going a little bit too far at this point.
This is what I'm saying statically. Without World War II and what? Yes, his intentions were bad for targeting.
No, his intentions were good at first.
No, not even the intentions. Can I say something? Not the intentions that we're thinking of. His intentions of going out and creating this mass genocide of the Jewish race.
Yeah, I know.
That's the part that is bad. But technically, without that part, because yes, that is morally wrong, 100% wrong, what he did for that part. But without his intentions to that, we wouldn't have stuff that would be needed in the time of now.
Well, no, that's not necessarily true. I mean, they didn't invent the computer, internet. They didn't invent the first. Like,
yeah, but without their intervention, we wouldn't have that stuff.
I agree, but did 6 million people have to die for it? No. Let's talk about something else. That's just my final statement. It wasn't worth it, but that's just my final statement. And I kind of agree with.
No, wait. I've got one last thing to say. And I've got last thing to say, and this goes for both sides. We will never know if it was worth it or not. We don't know what it would be like this. We can only assume that it was, or if it wasn't, we can only assume at this point because we can't go back in time, see what it would be, and then come back to reality. We just have to take things as it is and just assume. It happened, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah. Alright, well, I loaded in. I'm ready for when you are.
Alright, yeah, I'm loading in now.
Yeah, I'm gonna refill my water.
Very good.
So, for the record, he wasn't necessarily defending Hitler.
Oh, you want to know something crazy?
Yeah, what's up?
And I don't want to start like that off of this. But if you really want to think about the bad intent too, pretty much the Crusades were bad too. It's the same exact thing.
No, yeah, I know what you mean.
Just pretty much the Christians, the Knights Templars just went around killing anybody that didn't believe in Christianity. That's mass genocide.
Yeah. I could agree with that too.
Their intents were good. We got good techniques. I really do think though that 3 million lives are pretty much over. Because without that happening, we wouldn't have all these procedures that we do now. Like the UN would have never have happened. The UN compact.
Let me unplug my mic.
And you know what else is the craziest thing though too? That I really think that his point's kind of getting to. This is just from me. I felt like this is just what I think from what he was saying. I feel like the way that he was thinking is that Hitler just went out there just to kill. I don't really know if he was actually thinking. I mean, we don't really know what he was truly thinking, but I don't think he was actually. I don't know how to explain it, but that's all I have to say. Hey, I got a question. Connor, you there? Connor. Hello, is anybody here?
Yeah, it was Breck and Hulk. I'm here, boy. I'm here, my boy.
Not for sure.
Oh, there go everybody. Everybody just came back. I think everybody just came back. I don't know what they was doing.
If you don't mind me asking you this question, do you think 6,000 lives are to spare for many more for the future?
I'm not gonna lie.
So you're telling me you want to kill...
No. I said I'm not gonna lie. I think it's like 6,000 lives to spare for anything else.
Yeah.
Because like people like wait. So like basically 6,000 people lost their life.
No, here's the...
But like we should get off slavery. We should get off slavery and we should talk about 9/11. That's what we seriously should talk about.
What about 9/11? What's up?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what we should. No, what I'm saying basically we should stop talking about slavery and we should talk about 9/11.
What about 9/11?
I don't know.
I really do think 9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah, it had to be. Cause he basically.
There was New York. First off, physics in that building wouldn't have happened. Came down like that. The plane, the way that it hit, it wouldn't be coming down like that. The building wouldn't have.
I mean, a conclusion.
Wait, what are we talking about here?
Apparently we're talking about 9/11 now, and they think it's an inside job.
No, can I say something?
I don't know why.
Why do I think it's an inside job? Because New York Fire Department was on the 10th floor whenever the fire first hit. He was going up the elevator, and the elevator was coming down from the 19th floor. Okay, the 19th floor. Think about it. The plane hit all the way at the top, and it just hit.
X, I invited you, by the way. It says that I invited you. I can't invite you.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Why would people be coming out of an elevator in flames?
No, just join me through party. Join through party.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trying to talk about them, but that's dumb. Like, why would you come down while the whole thing in flames, engulfed in flames?
And the way that it came down too.
I will take the stairs.
No, here's what I'm saying though too.
Yeah.
The way that it came down. Look at a controlled demo site of how they do and in construction, and it matches up of what they would do. If a real plane would have hit that, with the steel
everybody there would have been dead.
I'm not saying it would have came down, but that came down way too fast.
Yeah.
Way too fast for what it should have been.
There was an explosion. I think you're forgetting.
And also too though, because of the explosion though, that steel was pretty much anything over 3,000 degrees. The steel would have burned. Why did the steel burn like that?
It didn't burn the steel, but it didn't burn it off.
For 10 days straight, for 10 days straight after 9/11, that steel was in rotten fire.
Well, I mean,
I invited you again.
Yeah, I know. I'm joining a new game right now.
Nice.
It's either A, they had multiple more than terrorists on the ground, also while they did the plane, with something rigged up inside, or it was an inside job. It's either one of those two.
To me, I think it was an inside job. To me, I think it was an inside job.
Just like all of us